Let's talk about something almost everyone feels but very few people know how to explain. That feeling of being stuck. Not failing, not crashing, just stuck. You wake up, do what you're supposed to do, check the boxes, meet the deadlines, and yet something feels off. You're busy but not fulfilled. Productive but not inspired, moving but not going anywhere. And the most frustrating part is this: from the outside, your life might look perfectly fine. So why does it feel so heavy? Here's the truth most people never hear. You don't feel stuck because you're incapable. You feel stuck because you're disconnected. Disconnected from meaning. Disconnected from purpose. Disconnected from why you're doing what you're doing in the first place. We live in a world obsessed with results. We're taught to ask, what do you do? How much do you make? What have you achieved? But very rarely do we stop to ask the more important question, why does this matter to me? When you don't know your why, everything becomes harder. Waking up feels like effort. Decisions feel overwhelming. Even success feels empty. Because achievement without meaning is just noise. Think about it. When you're deeply connected to a reason bigger than yourself, you can endure stress, you can handle setbacks, you can push through discomfort. But when the reason is missing, even small challenges feel unbearable. That's when people start saying things like, I've lost motivation. I don't feel like myself anymore. I don't know what's wrong with me. Nothing is wrong with you. You're just trying to climb a ladder that's leaning against the wrong wall. And here's where most people make a mistake. They try to fix the feeling of being stuck by changing the what. They switch jobs, they move cities, they buy new things, they chase new goals. And sometimes it works for a while. But eventually the feeling comes back, because the problem was never the what. The problem was the why. Purpose isn't a goal. It's not a job title. It's not a number in your bank account. Purpose is the reason you're willing to struggle. It's the thing that makes the hard days worth it. And when you don't have that, your brain interprets effort as pain with no reward. So it protects you by shutting down motivation. That's why you procrastinate. That's why you feel drained. That's why you feel stuck. Not because you're weak, but because you're human. Clarity creates energy. Confusion creates exhaustion. Now here's the uncomfortable part. Finding your why doesn't come from scrolling. It doesn't come from copying someone else's version of success. And it doesn't come from avoiding discomfort. It comes from honesty. Honesty about what matters to you. Honesty about what doesn't. Honesty about the moments in your life when you felt most alive. Your why is already there. It shows up in the things that frustrate you. The injustices you can't ignore. The moments when you help someone and forget to check the time. Purpose leaves clues, but you have to slow down enough to notice them. And once you begin to reconnect with that reason, something shifts. You don't suddenly become fearless. You don't magically avoid failure. But your relationship with difficulty changes. Obstacles stop feeling like signs to quit and start feeling like part of the journey. You stop asking, is this worth it? Because you already know the answer. And here's the most important thing to understand. You don't need to have everything figured out to move forward. You just need enough clarity to take the next small step. Purpose doesn't shout, it whispers. And momentum doesn't come from giant leaps, it comes from consistent alignment. So if you feel stuck right now, don't ask, what should I do next? Ask this instead. What do I believe in enough to keep going even when it's hard? Because the moment your why becomes clear, your actions gain direction. And when direction returns, so does confidence. So does motivation. So does progress. You were never meant to just stay busy. You were meant to move forward with meaning. And that's how stuck turns into growth.